Episode 12. Episode 12.
We're back
Finally.
again. We're back.
Episode 12.
We are back.
We apologize sincerely from us to you guys about the extended hiatus. It wasn't supposed to be this long, but here we are. Episode 12 of the Friction Podcast. I'm your producer, booking agent, host, man of all things, Mr. Duran Flood. To my right,
Zaya like fire, your resident wild child.
And I'm Will, kind of like your phone bill. Glad to be back.
Yay.
and the Phantom host with the most.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Yo,
How you doing?
I'm blessed.
What's your name, gangster?
Kadeem. I'm not a gangster.
It's the end of the year. Christmas was just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all celebrate? Did you get anything cool? Did you celebrate? Did you get anything
I don't
cool?
formally celebrate Christmas.
Did you get
Okay.
anything cool?
Yeah, I did.
What did you get for somebody who doesn't celebrate?
Well, if you call it getting something, I got something out of it, some time that I had a chance to spend with my son.
That's what's up.
You know, we had some very dig deep mom-son conversations.
Often.
So that was a gift.
What about you? Spoiled brat.
I got some nice stuff.
What did you get?
Well, the things that I can name, I got a MacBook Pro.
Okay.
I also got a AirPods Pro also.
Okay. Team Apple.
I pretty much have every Apple device.
Okay.
So I'm happy with what I got.
Okay.
That's all you got?
And other stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, but I'm happy with what I got. Yeah, what did you get?
Nothing. And I'm happy about this because the first time people actually respected, my wishes.
Do you celebrate?
No, I don't celebrate.
Okay.
So you know how people are when it comes to Christmas. They're like, well, it's about giving, and I'm going to give you something regardless of how you feel.
Yes.
This is the first time that I did not receive anything for Christmas, and I'm really happy about it. I appreciate it. You guys are on board with respecting people's differences, and I think that's cool. Kadeem.
So
I'm
I'm sorry. Before Kadeem, let's go to Kadeem. Then I want to come back to
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, now I got a 1-year-old, so it's like different. Like I did. This is the first time I did the matching PJs.
I saw
that's
you had the J. Why you ain't had the footies
I
on?
don't have no
What the-
footies. I don't own a pair of footies. You the second, third person to say like, yo, you supposed to wear slippers. I don't have no slippers.
Okay.
But the
Did
J's
you post
match.
pictures?
Yeah, I posted.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's on Mr. If You Know, You Know. That's where I'm gonna post the like real
Okay.
stuff. Everything else gonna be podcast stuff. But I
Okay.
did get she got me the Kith Monopoly set. It's
I
fire.
saw that.
Fire.
I saw that. I'm a Monopoly fan. So when I saw that,
my
I was
favorite
like,
game.
oh shit, that's dope.
Yeah. She paid too much for it, but it's fire.
Right. Right.
I like
Nice.
collectibles, obviously.
Yeah.
The giving a gift thing. Why would it bother you that someone would give you a gift?
Well, I don't celebrate Christmas, and I understand like the ritualistic aspect of it, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know?
The reason why I brought that up is because Kadeem and I were actually talking a little bit about like some things before you guys got here, and one of the things we didn't talk about this
Because
specifically.
she was on
but
time.
I'm always on time. But yeah.
Don't be cute now.
I'm always on time.
Don't be cute now.
But yeah, so we were talking about like parenting, and I didn't raise the children to celebrate Christmas. I didn't celebrate. They never saw like a tree or gifts, but they were never like restricted from getting the gifts. Like I never was like a Scrooge or no, you can't. Like I did know kids in school that couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was just
Did you get them
curious. No, I didn't get them gifts, but I didn't restrict them from getting gifts.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Or
I mean,
celebrating.
but that's something that was even a process. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand like some people actually feel disrespected. But sometimes it's like, listen, this is just as like you have the things that you believe in, and I respect them. I don't try to infringe or overstep my boundaries or anything like that. If
Yeah.
you say this is what you're about, I'm gonna try my best to respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like it's the same thing with me. I'm good. Like save your money. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my birthday's coming up. Like literally in 1 week. Save it and give it to me in 1 week. Literally in 1 week.
Okay.
So yeah, I can defer in that manner where you can just say, hey, if you do have something for me, just wait a week.
Understood.
I think it was super important that we got back
You gotta
here.
tell them to like, subscribe. and hit
Hold
the bell.
on. Before we get to that, I think it's super important that we got to the studio one more time before the year is out because the new year is coming.
Yay.
Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, jump in the comments for Will's sake.
share.
He actually enjoys comments.
I do not read the comments.
He
I'll let you
enjoys
guys-
the comment section.
It's your job to be in the comments. It's my job to be on the mic.
Oh, well, look at that. Getting people together.
And you're like, no.
Yeah, one more time before the year is out. I was going to put a lot of pressure on us if we couldn't find, because one thing that I do participate in is resolutions.
Okay.
And I want to have our own here, even if you don't. So this is me saying the very opposite of what I said that I don't do. I want you guys to participate.
You are a huge hypocrite.
I am. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah.
But I feel like as successful Black folks, you guys understand the importance of projecting, goal attainment, goal setting, and things like that. So we can just look at it as that type of exercise if you don't want to participate in the New Year's resolution. So, see, you see what I'm saying?
Anybody who's about their shit is you gotta
Right,
the-
right.
yeah.
And so the people on, the podcast is watching today. If you can drop 5 resolutions within the comments section, that would be dope. I'm going to actually read them and respond to them, and so is everybody else. And we're going to be rooting for you coming into 2022.
Except me, yeah.
So on the fly, can you give me?
Wait, rubbed you the wrong way, rubbed you the right way. So you've been gone too long.
Been gone too long.
You've
He
been
don't even know how to
gone
do
too
this
long.
shit.
You
Can we
Yeah.
get to this
Yeah.
first before we do the rubbing? I don't want to rub.
No, my goals is lengthy.
Well, you can consolidate those.
I got different aspects of my life that I got. Things I
Okay,
wanna
so-
achieve.
Usually top 2.
Okay, well, you want to do 2 instead of 5?
yeah, top
but
2.
people I'm going to put my 5
In the comments.
in the comments.
Okay,
But
we can do
for the
5
sake
in the
of time and not putting a lot of pressure on everybody here, we're just going to say 2.
Kadeem got a long list.
Okay.
I got a lot of shit I gotta
ma'am,
accomplish.
since you wanted to be rubbed so bad.
Why? You start. You started it. You start. What's
Okay.
your
One, automation. That's the first thing that really popped out in my head. And I'll expound on that a little bit. Like, I work hard. Anybody who knows me, like, I'm a blue collar guy. I love construction. I love working out. I'm just the blue collar type guy. I don't want to be that guy anymore. I just don't. So next year, what I'm going to be working on is automation. Automation in a sense where I don't need to be in the gym as much. My tax situation is a lot better than it was last year and the year before that. So I can start to, secure property and things like that. So I can get that passive income in that kind of way. So automation is the first thing that jumps out at me. Secondly, I can't go without my health and fitness, man. I have fitness goals that I did not reach last year. I wanted to bench press 400 pounds and squat 500 pounds. I didn't even come close, to be completely honest. But we're going to revisit those 2 performance goals. So I want to be strong as fuck physically coming in 2023. So those are my 2 goals.
Can I interject?
Yes, sir.
See, from my standpoint, I feel like only one of them is a goal because one of them was like mad ambiguous. You just said automation. I want to, and the other one you had actual measurable, attainable things. And I think in our culture we do a lot of goal setting. That's why I don't fuck with resolutions because it's like, oh, I want to be healthier, but there's ways to say, hey, I want to go to the gym. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to do it by X time.
Right.
A SMART goal is a specific, measurable, attainable. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Realistic, tangible thing.
And I completely 120% agree. I actually have specifics written down what automation looks like for me within the gym and within real estate.
Because you can't, I mean,
right.
A lot of people would just say, I want to automate more stuff.
Right.
And then there's no plan behind
nah.
that. And that's what our problem is. We'd be like, everybody say, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. But
For sure. There has to be a sound methodology.
just wanted to clear that up since we're giving people
20%.
Instruction.
Now, Zaya?
So for the new year coming into 2022, my goal is to work towards a voiceover business. I'm interested in doing voiceover work. So.
I like it.
Because I do listen to audiobooks and I have I've been told that I have a good tone of voice.
They lied.
And so that's something that I intend to do. So I'm going to start a business that involves me doing voiceover work. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is more so just around surrounding boundaries. But as far as the specific goal, like I'm really interested in like the voiceover work and just understanding the production side of things, because as you all know, my son does music, so it's something that I've been working with him on as well.
What was number 2 again?
Production.
Okay.
Like getting more involved in the production side. So like right now I've been doing things like writing treatments. I help him with some of the marketing ideas and concepts for his projects. But I'm more interested in the production side of things, which is more like delegating and organizing and making, things sort of come together.
Nice.
So those are the two.
Executive producing.
Yeah.
EP. William, what you got for us?
Let's see. So this year, my goal was to get my finances in place. I've been taking care of my finances, but I wanted to be at a certain place.
What that place look like? Since we go and get in Kadeem, it got to be specific. What the finances got to look like?
The credit is great. The savings is amazing. The retirement plan is on track. So I'm not struggling anywhere.
Man, I don't want to talk about his money with you.
Whatever.
But
people want to know what kind of money he made.
I make a decent amount of money, and I'm in a 2-family income household, so I'm good. Next year, the plan is to get a property somewhere up in D.C.
I know somebody can sell you one. In D.C. or outside on the Virginia side?
DMV area. So,
Okay, I got somebody that can sell you one.
That's the plan.
I'm serious.
We plan to get the property. And, just try to make sure we can get a decent property put out for rent and move overseas. The goal is to get orders overseas. I'm up for orders in 3 months. And actually, less than 3 months.
He quitting the show.
Look, we just found out about it. I was like, hold on, what?
let me modify that. So I'm up for orders in 3 months. However, I don't move out of here till 2023.
Oh.
So a year from when I pick
by
orders.
then we'll be so advanced with our podcast.
Yeah, so
we'll be able to do him
everywhere.
virtually.
So number one goal is to go ahead and get this property together, and put it up there for rent and start making more money from that. And then, the big goal is to make sure this wedding go as planned. I have this wedding coming up July 1st. Hey. It has to go as planned.
So that's number 2.
That's number 2.
Wedding and finances. Mr. McCord.
I got a lot.
Just 2, sir.
All right. Well, okay, so I wanted to be more studious this upcoming year. See, this is why I don't mess with resolutions. Because you could start today. You don't got to wait till the first.
Right.
I said I wanted
People
to.
tend to make
That's an excuse.
work more on it when there's a huge, big start time. So January 1st, New Year's starting out, that's a good time to start.
I feel that.
People are
90% of those people
I felt like
fail.
that, like at 30, and I'm pretty sure everybody went through it. Like you felt like you were supposed to be at a certain time, at a certain place, doing a certain thing at 30. And I remember when I turned 29, it hit me. Yeah, it hit me at 29. Like I was like, yo, I ain't got nothing. I ain't did nothing. What's going on? I'm supposed to be like, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess for me, I'm turning 35 this year.
Right.
And we have a saying that me and my friends say, we celebrate the 5s and the 0s real big.
Right.
Right. So one of my goals was to read more. And I didn't start. I've been started. So I read 3 books in the last 12 days.
Nice.
Audio books. So I wanted to allocate the time that I spend listening to podcasts and listening to YouTube videos and all that. And I moved that over to books.
What are these books, if you don't mind?
I read Atomic Habits, Contagious, and Crushing It by Gary Vee. And I just started Will
I
Smith's
saw
book. I'm
Gary
on chapter
Vee
3.
at the party, at Snoop's party.
Oh,
I
that sounds
fucking
fire.
flipped out.
Yeah, that sounds fire.
Scary.
Yeah. So reading more was one of my goals. I've already started it.
Okay.
And sometimes this is a little tidbit for the gamification of a goal. It makes us just intrinsically you want to do it more. Like the books app on my phone tracks how long I'm reading the book. Right?
Percentage
So it says
a day.
I set the goal for 45 minutes a day. So it tells me every day you finished your goal, and it tells me you've read. Now I'm on 13 days, 13 days in a row, and that kind of stuff actually helps propel you, especially when you're in the early stage of habit setting. You can tell I've been reading, bro. I've been on it.
Yeah.
Let me give y'all another one. Because I got stuff for work, my relationship content.
Relationship.
Oh, relationship?
Yeah.
This is
Go
easy.
from there.
I just wanted to make sure I was dedicating more time to my relationship. So weekly date night, monthly staycation, quarterly trip, and then some stuff that's a little bit more subjective. I wanted to start bringing more of my friends around and talk more about my issues regularly. Normally, I'm like, yo, I can fix shit myself, so I don't talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go about
Good
it
for
myself.
you.
So, yeah. Set goals, man. Write them down. It's a personal contract between you and you. That's where the baseline of everything starts.
I like that. I appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you jump in the comment section and give us 5. I'm going to jump in the comment section and add 3 to my already 2. And if my co-host could
I'll
give
do
us
the
that
same.
extra 3.
Yeah, I have plenty.
Very good.
Yeah, I
very
do
good.
vision boards every.
I just gave y'all like
Every
6.
Right. All right, so let's jump into the topic for today. I think that transitioning.
Are we going to rub the wrong way or not, bro?
Oh, we do.
He
need
get on my nerves.
Yo,
wants to
you
talk about
stopped her
rubbing
from
the
wanting
wrong
to
way,
do.
so-
Right.
Well, I don't
Okay.
care, but I'm just saying this the structure of
You-
the show.
Because
know what?
exactly.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead. What is besides what he's
That
doing?
rubs me the
That's
wrong
why I said besides
way.
that. What else rubbed you the wrong way? All the
What
wrong
else
way.
rubbed me the wrong way? So recently, I have a friend.
You have a bad
That I
attitude.
considered a friend that I shared, someone that I've known for over 20 years, at least 20 years, knew me before I gave birth to my son. And I'm looking right at this camera. So if you are watching, which I don't know.
Y'all broke up.
No, we didn't break up. We weren't together, but I shared something.
No, I'm saying like the friendship.
Well, no.
Okay,
because they're in timeout. But basically, it was like I shared something, and then in the midst of me being extremely vulnerable and sharing this information, you know, I kind of later came back and we were having another conversation, and this person brought up those things that I shared in an effort to motivate me. Like, it was like you kind of like passive aggressively trying to motivate me with some ammunition that I gave you, some intimate information that I gave you. So it just pissed me off and it rubbed me the wrong way, especially because I'm like, especially knowing you for 20 something years, I didn't have to share this information with you, but you weaponize something that, so like people weaponizing intimate information against someone that they care about, or someone they claim they care about, or someone they claim they're trying to, you know, influence in a better way or enlighten or encourage. Don't weaponize private information that I gave you to encourage me. You know what I'm saying? Just like sometimes I'm just asking you to listen.
Okay. Can I jump in real quick?
Sure.
You were saying that they were trying to motivate you. It was also information that was just going between both of you guys. So how was that something that was negative when you told them?
Because the reason why I had we had a conversation about doing something together, and because I came back and I said, you know, I don't think that this is the time for me to move on that opportunity. They took the other information and it made it like that was the reason why, when I was like, you made something about you that wasn't about you, and you took some information that I gave you about me to try to motivate me to do what you wanted me to do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that rubbed me the wrong way.
You think it was there was some type
It
of
was very
personal
intentional.
gain?
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
definitely
so it was-
malicious.
Okay.
It was manipulative. It was manipulative. Now, it wasn't malicious, but it was, and that's why he's in timeout. That's why it's not necessarily like I'm breaking up. It's more like, you know, I'm gonna let you sit on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you sit on that, and whenever I decide to come back and we have this conversation again, I'm going to remind you that is why I didn't want to move forward with that business opportunity with you, because of those things right there. And my intuition was telling me this wasn't the right time. And when I said it wasn't the right time, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody worried about the wrong shit. I hate when people say that you worried about the wrong shit. Sometimes it's applicable, but sometimes I feel like it's just shit that people throw out to try to like manipulate the conversation. You know, you worried about the wrong shit. No, I'm worried about the right shit. I'm worried about me, which is going to lead us into our topic, but that's what it was. It was like, I need to focus on some of me. I need to focus on me right now instead of me trying to do what you need me to do for you.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So that rubbed me the wrong way.
How about you? Oh, you want me to go? Being off from the Friction podcast for as long as we did rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, it's nobody's.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the blame. Whatever. I don't want it to happen again. I know that we have some things coming up the next couple of months, and we're going to fight to make sure that we're forever consistent. It's important to me, and I hope that it's equally important to everybody else here. That rubs me the wrong way, but I do have something that rubs me the right way. I feel great. And I look better, bro. Like that just rubs me the right way.
Okay.
How about you?
I think what rubbed me the wrong way goes back to gifting. So my fiance had a problem with the way that I gift. He said whenever I gift him something, I tend to have some part or enjoy some part of that gifting. For example, huh?
You one of those?
Well, I feel like
explain. What is that?
So,
Like you
for
give
example-
somebody a gift that you can also partake in.
Yes. Yes. But this is how I give people.
Like
When
we going on a
especially
trip,
Somebody
like, it's
that
like we're
intimate.
going
right.
That is literally what he was referring to.
Yeah,
I've gifted him trips overseas multiple times. Before he got to know me, he had not been out the country. And if you ask him, he'll say,
You're terrible.
Let me finish
I
up.
see it now.
You
didn't have no stamp before me.
But when you ask him, he'll say, well, I've been out of the country. Sir, Jamaica does not count. Okay? The islands does not count.
To a lot of people, it counts, bro.
I don't count it to.
I wouldn't either.
That don't count.
I don't count
but-
those.
Right.
But so when he
I mean, it don't count.
It do count.
Come on.
He's
now.
a man
Jamaica.
from PG County. He's a man from PG County. When he met me, I introduced him to the world, and I got him trips.
Golly.
And I mean, it sounds bad.
I
So-
said this about anybody else. Y'all be tearing me up.
It's true though.
He's
But
awful.
so I've given him multiple gifts that always include trips overseas. And then last year, I think for Christmas, I gave him a DNA testing kit for him to trace his family and his DNA and stuff like that. In the moment, he
that.
was upset that I gave him that gift. But a week or two later, when his results came back, he wrote this long paragraph on social media thanking me and stuff like that. Knowing him for 4 years, I know that in a moment, he likes a gift that he can hold in his hand, like something tangible. But these gifts that I've given him have created memories. So when he brought it up to me this week and he asked, what do you get me for Christmas? I said, well, I have a nice trip planned for us, that I've already paid for to Japan and a couple of the places that he liked Japanese culture. He said, well, it just seemed like you found this one thing that I like and you stick to it, and your gifts that you're giving me usually includes you enjoying it, and it sounded ungrateful to me. And we had a whole 2 hours argument about that, about gifting and stuff. And he went ahead and said, well, I listened to you. You could say that you need something just one time, and I'll go ahead and get it for you as a gift. So I'm listening to you. You're not listening to me. And I'm arguing back and saying, bruh, I listen to you too. And I see what you appreciate. You have sentimental values attached to these trips that I've given to you. You talk about how you saw these countries on PBS as a kid, and you're experiencing them now. Had I not took you on these trips, you would have still been a nigga from PG County.
Damn.
Who has not traveled outside the world?
Drop the bomb.
So that
bomb.
rubbed me the wrong way. And you know what he got for Christmas?
That's actually
he got a freaking standing desk for Christmas. Like, who wants a standing desk for Christmas? He works
Somebody that wants to be
he works from home.
productive.
That's something I could have got him down the road. Like, hey, babe, can you get me a desk? And I'll go ahead and get you a desk. But you want a $200 desk from Amazon? Yes, you'll get a $200 or $600 desk from Amazon with a chair, and you can enjoy that and make memories working for the man. And that rubbed me the wrong way.
Well,
Hopefully he doesn't watch this episode.
Oh, he's definitely. I'm gonna put it in his inbox. Look, yo, watch it. You might want to. Right.
What about you, Kadeem? What rubbed you the wrong way?
I got hacked.
Oh, yeah.
I got hacked. They used one of the kids I coach's Instagram to hack me. And was
That's
like,
sorry.
hey, coach, I need your help.
That just made your Instagram famous now. When you start
Nah,
do you
man.
have a blue check mark?
No. I ain't that cool. No, they went afterwards. After I got back in my account, they were DMing anybody I had liked your post, anything. They were just messaging mad people like,
Damn.
I need help, or it wasn't me in your inbox trying to flip 50 to 500. I promise. Yeah, so that rubbed me on the wrong way. I got a lot to rub me the right way, but
give us one.
Give us one.
Give us one.
my boys won a national championship.
I saw that too.
I mean,
Yeah.
How many is that in? How?
3 in like 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
We're really good at
3
that.
for 4.
Good.
And I had I don't really celebrate Christmas either, but Caitlin wants to create those memories for Sienna, so I'm down. And I enjoyed wearing the onesie. And I had a fire brunch. My brunch at my crib was fire.
Okay, we didn't get an invite.
I got y'all next time.
Okay.
It was fire though.
I think this is a really good segue into the topic for today.
For sure.
We're going to talk about self-care. Self-care. We're going to get all the feels out. This isn't my wheelhouse, but I actually believe in it. I think it's important. When you talk about self-care, Does anybody? We'll go around the room and give our own definition, and then we'll get Kadeem to read the actual definition. For me, self-care is intentionally doing something that is going to help improve you in the moment and the foreseeable future. That's my definition.
Okay. Being honest.
Being honest.
We're kind of on the same.
Like,
Yeah, so mine is kind of almost like yours. Any action that I'll take to preserve or improve my own health is self-care for me.
all right.
And before I read the actual one,
Being honest,
I haven't read it yet. I would expound on what y'all are saying. Just damn, I forgot. It was prophetic what I was about to say. Too. Oh, to one's identity, right? Like I think a lot of the stuff we don't do. Sometimes I have to do stuff that doesn't serve my true identity, like who I am as an individual.
Being honest.
You know what I'm saying? Well, sometimes it's out of responsibility, no, for real. Sometimes it's out of responsibility and all these other things. But self-care is like you feeding that, like this is who I am, and I have to do those things for me.
Okay.
So, real quick before you get in, you remember when we were first talking about this, and I talked about being selfish? Mm-hmm. That was kind of like kind of. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
sometimes you got to be
Right,
a little
right.
selfish. The textbook definition is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. Mm-hmm. The second one is the practice or taking an action role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress.
Being honest.
Wait, how does... Oh, you know what?
All right, so let's put something practical to the definition. One example, I'll give the most obvious one: exercise.
Are you gonna say something? Or you gonna...
No, I think that we all should just give one practical something, an activity that kind of like couples with our definition. And I said exercise. What do you think? Well, what is being honest?
Okay, I'm gonna be real. Like honestly, the reason why I say being honest applies to all of it because as it relates to physical, you have to be honest with yourself first before you can take on any extra that your body is not used to mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be like, okay, this doesn't feel good. I remember feeling like I didn't feel like I looked bad, but I could feel when I was carrying extra weight. So I had to you have to stop and go inward, which I think is typically what happens when you're trying to do some self-care is you're going inward and you're saying, okay, it's not about what's happening around me. It's what feels misaligned. Because people go inward and do self-care things to feel more aligned so that they can feel like they can show up.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to, if you're not being honest with yourself about how you're feeling physically, as far as your health, you're not going to be able to get to a state of being more healthy or more into taking care of yourself.
And I'll give an example for that. So the last couple of weeks, I've been saying that I look bigger than I want to be. Weight wise, but I kept telling myself, well, the scale isn't saying that, so I don't have to work out yet. I'll wait till it's actually showing the scale. And I had to tell myself last week, I said, listen, doesn't matter what the scale's saying.
Right.
I feel bigger. I look bigger. I'm gonna go ahead and first do my cleans and then get back to working out and getting myself to where I need to be for myself, taking care of myself. So I understand that. I think for me, my biggest thing for self-care is taking care of my mental state. And
what does that look like for you?
I do that by basically shutting everything else outside from getting to me. So if that's coming home from work and if I have to turn my phone off and just relax and not pay attention to news and just regroup myself, that helps me out a lot. That's taking care of my mental state right now. I have to tone everything else off and get back to my center. So taking care of my mental state is what pops in my head when it comes to self-care.
Kadeem, what about you? put it in practice. So what does self-care look like? Just one example.
Sometimes silence for me. Sometimes I come in here and close the door and dim these lights and just sit in here.
Right.
Yeah. One time, actually, quick story. I was in here listening to a book by myself. Caitlin's bringing Sienna to, like, we're going to swap right quick. So I'm going to take Sienna. She's going to go handle her business or whatever. And they came in loud with food. And I'm just sitting there. And I just sat there. And then she looks at me. She's like, damn, Sienna, we done disturbed Daddy's peace. I was just sitting, like, you could tell, like, oh, I'm finding my zen. That's what I'm doing right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But sometimes I just need to get away, detach myself from everything. Sometimes I do that and just lock in and knock out 3-4 podcasts. I got a lot on my plate, so sometimes I don't get the opportunity to do all the things I want to do. Right. So being productive is also a space for me where I feel like, all right, I got X one I want to do, and I just make sure I go do it.
All right. So some pushback. I think that you can abuse self-care too. I think a lot of people actually abuse the idea of self-care. Too much of anything is a bad thing, right? So leisurely time, doing absolutely nothing, it's something that people partake in when it comes to self-care. We know that having too much leisurely time can lead to the adverse effect of those things, right? Even working out, something as awesome and as, introspective as working out is supposed to be, too much of that can lead to what? Stress-related injuries, right? So I want to be very careful because everything in moderation, balance, being honest, it's super important too. As a culture, I think, and this is just me saying outwardly, I think that we practice that too much. And I can name literally plenty of different examples of self-care, like even drinking. For some people, drinking is self-care. I don't knock it. The doctor even tells you that, a glass of wine a day is good for your
Heart.
your heart and your blood and all of this stuff. But when one glass turns into 5, and when wine turns into liquor and beer and all of these other things, it becomes abuse. And so I want to put that pushback out there. Self-care, just like anything else, should be in moderation, even though we have so many different areas of self-care that we need to be mindful of. There's still work that needs to be done. That's piggybacking off of the production side that he was talking about. Being productive is still is a form of self-care as well. Like, you have to be productive the same way that you have to take care of yourself. There has to be a balance of all things, right? Have you ever abused self-care?
I mean,
yes.
Okay, so just to tag into the abuse abuse aspect of it, for me, it's not so much the abuse aspect of it. I think it's just like the over emphasis. You know what I'm saying? Like when we first had this conversation, both of y'all were coming for me, like, "Oh, you the healthcare, the self-care guru," and I'm like,
Well, because
I started laughing
when we give our definition of what self-care was for us, you had this smug attitude about
on purpose.
No.
On purpose. Well, I had to look on purpose. Go ahead.
Because you guys.
See, this is what happened, y'all.
The self-care gurus who walk around picking up rocks and stuff like that, and doing all this extra stuff, they feel like
the spiritual people.
There's this chart, a list of things that you have to do that counts as self-care. Just like you said, drinking is self-care. I'm sure if you ask somebody, like, maybe not you, but most people who are super self-care gurus, they're probably going to say, no, drinking isn't self-care. So you guys have things that you list that you consider self-care. Anything else outside of those boxes, you thump your nose up in the air at it. So that's what, and that's you kind of show a little bit of that when we.
She has an elitist
No,
attitude.
it's because
towards
you
her.
automatically had this assumption that I would have this attitude, but I honestly don't have that attitude. What I have a problem with is the overuse of the trend of self-care, which is to me what you're saying as far as the abuse of self-care, because some people will call anything self-care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Anything could fall in the category of
So what
is.
would work for me to get me to that good, healthy, peaceful place? It's not going to work.
But that's
for me, so.
why I said to be honest, because to be honest, overindulging in alcohol is not fucking self-care.
It's not.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, you have to be honest. So yes, it's subjective, but I'm the last person to be like something is right or something is wrong. I am a wild child. Like, you could do whatever you want as far as I'm concerned, whatever makes you feel most aligned. But at the end of the day, when you are being honest with yourself, some shit just don't make any sense. So when people say, well, I'm doing this for self-care, or, it's like all the time, of course, social media, people are posting extra ass shit. That's because they want the attention, or they want people to pay for whatever reason. There's a motive why they're posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. But it's like over abuse of the trend of self-care. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not the snooty tooty. It's just like, here we go with this is what I consider
over abuse of the
self-care.
trend of self-care is like, oh yeah, you guys weren't on self-care before. Now it's trendy.
And that's
So
true.
all of you guys can come into our
And that's
space
true. And now
take
you're
our
calling
thing.
whatever you call
And-
self-care. And I'm like, that's not like.
Yeah, because you're the one who makes the definition of what self-care is.
It's not about
for
me
them.
making the
So
definition
you're
of self-care.
calling
I'm
what
saying
you're
I'm
doing over
looking
there
at what
is
you're
not
doing, and it's like
self-care.
it doesn't add up. If
That
what
makes
what
them
you're
feel-
doing doesn't match what
Yeah.
you're actually showing.
Yeah, I understand. We talk about, drinking excessively isn't self-care, but there are things that this person might be doing that would get them to, it might not help their physical state, but it could help with their mental state.
No doubt. Well,
So
drinking doesn't, but I think cutting off your television, logging off of your socials, cutting things out. I believe all that is self-care. I agree with all of that.
You agree with those because those are things that you would do. So anything else outside that norm for the self-care gurus is not self-care. Huh?
No,
No, they are.
He's
I'm saying
saying
she's
that
agreeing
I'm
with
only
you.
agreeing with them
Because
because
they fall
there's
within
something that
their-
I would do. He's saying like there might be something that he does that I don't necessarily consider self-care because I'm a self-care guru. And I'm not.
So because of it now, you guys see because it's trending.
So you don't think that you're a little snooty when it comes to
No.
like your immediate reaction? Like when we brought up the topic, the first thing that you did was suck your teeth and start batting your eye. We ain't even.
It was almost
Oh,
like
here we
know
go.
about this topic.
Yeah,
Bob.
right.
Like you guys aren't supposed. Like it was. You had this little, but that's okay.
We didn't even start talking yet, and you was. Oh, here we go. Like
First of all, that is your interpretation.
you didn't do that. Yes or no?
I did not go, I wasn't mad. I was smiling. First of all, I was very excited about the opportunity to talk about a self-care topic because it is something that I'm very familiar with.
Can I ask this though? So outside of the excessive drinking, what are some of the things that you would say that people are doing that does not categorize as self-care?
I mean, I don't know because I don't
media,
study people that hard.
that
I
you
don't
see on social media.
that people are calling self-care.
I think substance abuse or any type of substance abuse is neglectful. Well, not neglect, it's abuse. I think smoking too much weed, like you always wanting to be high, is negative. Like super negative. Like wake and bake. The idea of wake and bake is abuse.
Okay.
I don't know.
How
if
is
people were
wake and bake
jumping on-
abuse?
I don't know if you were.
How is it abuse? Like,
Go ahead.
so we're creating a culture where the first thing that you need to do every morning is get high.
Or drink coffee.
I was literally about to say that. She
I
gave
know
about half a
Kadeem. I know
second.
Kadeem.
I don't drink
know.
coffee either.
Okay,
you.
you're judging.
But
people that
you're
drink
not.
coffee.
But you're not,
Not you.
categorizing coffee drinking as
Not
a bad
you,
thing.
or even drinking a glass of wine at the end
Well,
of the
yeah,
day.
I mean, also the caffeine. We can talk about the caffeine. Like, if you need to get that charge from something other than like regular food, then you have an issue.
So people that drink straight black coffee have an issue.
No,
All right, bro, you always have mad holes in your argument.
no, I don't think because I mean it's natural though. Now tell me that the weed that everybody out here is smoking is natural, and I'll leave it alone.
We know that the weed that everybody out here is smoking isn't natural. That's like an asinine, even like to even say that.
I mean,
we know
that's not the case.
Compare
apples to apples, then let it be.
But you're saying it as if it's absolute, as if a person who wakes and bakes is absolutely abusing themselves.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Because they might wake and bake, and that's just how they start their day, and that's it.
That may be how they get their creativity jump started.
So you have to be high.
No. Do you drink coffee? Do people drink coffee before they work out for that boost of energy? Nig, do you take pre-workout?
Same difference.
Yes, I don't have to take pre-workout.
You don't. And some people don't have to smoke to get their thing going, but you do take pre-workout because it does what for you? It does something for you.
I do not.
He don't like arguing with us.
No, I mean I don't have to take pre-work. There's been times
I'm not talking about you specifically.
But
I'm not saying you.
So you guys don't think that there's a problem with every morning you have to alter your chemical, like the way that you think and view things in order to function for the rest of the day.
What is meditation?
I don't know what that is.
Meditation.
Again, that's you the guru.
Thank you.
You've never meditated, bro?
Bro, I don't need to meditate.
He does. You do. You do.
Now you're telling me I meditate. You're crazy.
No. He does.
What does meditate look like?
Exactly. That's the point. Because people tend to think that meditation sits and it's like, nam yo ho ranking. That's not meditation. All the time. That is
in my mind.
Number one, that's chanting. So number one, that's not necessarily meditation.
So what is meditation?
Meditation is allowing your thoughts, like getting to a space where you're intentionally allowing your thoughts to flow without holding on to them, without feeling subject to having to move about them. And before you lift, before you squat, you stop and you meditate.
Stillness.
And you get quiet and you clear and you focus and you let your thoughts pass and you do what you do. So you meditate all the time, my bro. All the time.
So he don't sit on the mat and do it.
Yeah, because he's not sitting in the garden with me. You know what I'm saying? And that is why I made that. That's why I had that reaction, because y'all.
Oh, so you did have the reaction.
I did have a reaction. I did have a reaction. I didn't have a negative reaction. I had a reaction because I knew when you said that we were going to talk about self-care, I knew that that was going to be the issue. The issue is like, oh, Zaya thinks because she goes to botanical gardens and does this and does that. And
with no shoes on, your feet's out.
She wears, stones and she buys crystals and she's into that. She thinks she knows, but like Zaya doesn't know shit. Listen, Zaya focuses on being honest with Zaya so that Zaya can continue to elevate and do what she does. But I'm not looking at y'all and saying you're not doing it right. I can take and look at your lives and say where that's applicable. Like, oh yeah, you do meditate. I can tell. I know that you do. But there are people out there that abuse the trend, the term,
and that's
self-care.
That's where I have the issue with you saying that people are abusing self-care.
I said, are you abusing the use of the term?
Self-care.
Yes, abusing how they're like trying to make it.
Listen,
can we go back to this whole wake and bake thing? It bothers me.
Let it go, bro.
Whatever.
I don't want to let it go. I don't understand. That's just like being under the influence, like of alcohol. Like there's functioning alcoholics and they can't do things without being drunk, or they don't have the courage or the mindset to go out and party and introduce themselves to women or whatever without drinking. Mm-hmm. Like, how is that self-care again?
How is drinking self-care, or are we talking about waking and baking, or are we talking about drinking?
I mean, both of them are under the influence. It's just two different types of influence.
I don't like that we demonize marijuana so.
Mm-hmm.
I said anything, like if you have to do it every morning. He's
saying any form of substance abuse, including pre-workout.
Yeah.
Sure, that you have to do every day.
Or supplements.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? No, that's the point.
Listen, no, what I'm saying is,
I can see if you wake and bake, and then 2 hours later you gotta smoke again, and then 2 hours after that you gotta.
So the idea of working up every morning, and whether it's drinking, smoking, or taking a pre-workout every morning, that's self-care. I just want to be clear. That's a form of self-care.
For some people.
Okay.
For some people.
So now I want to sit in your seat and
for
say
some people.
That's baloney.
That's
baloney.
Part of your
okay.
That's part of your routine.
So what about shooting up heroin? Why?
Back to the
No.
to the being honest. How is it affecting you? Because see, you're not a person who wakes and bakes, so you have an assumption about how it affects how a person moves. We know what heroin does to a person. We can see, and we
that's
can
a different
see,
type of high,
and
brother.
we can
High is
see
high is
how-
high.
No, it's not. That's why they die from
No, son.
that. Nobody's
Okay,
ODing from marijuana.
so drugs lay on the spectrum, and as long as you're not doing hard drugs, it's okay because caffeine is a drug too. So just so we're clear,
Sugar is a drug, my
right.
man.
So as long as
So
you're
we're going
on,
to people that need that morning cereal. Like if you need a bowl of
okay,
cinnamon
so
toast
as long
crunch
as we're on the left side of the spectrum, it's all good.
It's long
Because
as you're
the
being
goalposts
honest
get
with
to
how
move.
it affects your development and your growth. That's why. See,
I can get with that.
I wasn't trying to be funny. That's why when we have the masculinity conversation, like, yo, shit can be summed up. It's real simple as far as certain things. Like, it's just about being honest. Self-care is about being honest and say, okay, this is what I need.
Yeah.
This is what I need. And that's
Coffee
it.
point, my mom used to always need to, like, she'd get a headache and be like, yo, I need to go to Starbucks and get a toffee nut latte, no whip, no whip.
I struggle with that, man.
And
I
at some
really do.
point- and at
Because
some point-
so here's the thing, and this is from experience. When I was taking, I think it's C4. When I was taking C4, like extreme or whatever it was.
That's something
I
to make you feel like this.
Yeah, exactly. And when I stopped taking it, I had the same headaches. I was like a fiend. And I said, I'm never taking this shit ever again. There's something wrong with me that I need this.
Caffeine headache.
Yeah, like I was like,
Yeah.
okay, no, I don't want this. So something that was helping me work out is actually
You had
a
to
crutch.
be honest
It became
with
a crutch.
yourself and stop.
The truth is, all those things say you're supposed to take them for like 2 months and then wean off them.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
pre-workout or the fat burner I take, it tells you like yo, after like 120 days, you need to chill. You didn't read the label.
Yeah. And it's levels to the wake and bake community as well.
For sure.
There's levels to it. Everybody doesn't wake and bake and smoke all day.
Most of them do.
Oh, I hate stereotyping people.
The folks that I know that I see on social media, motherfuckers is smoking all day. Okay.
So what does that look like? What does smoking all day look like?
Well, that's what he said his friends do. So
The people.
tell us what
No,
it
I
look
didn't
like.
say my friends. I said the people I know.
Okay,
They don't
well,
count as
the
my
people
friends.
he know that wake and bake smoke all day and they don't do
I
shit.
mean, that's basically. So I dated somebody before. The guy you met at the mall years ago. He smoked in the morning. He worked at a college here in Virginia. He smoked during the day. He would take a break from school, his classes, and go smoke. He will go home in the evening. The first thing he would do is set his food down, prep everything, and then smoke before he eats. And then after he gets done eating, he's smoking. And because of that, it made it hard for us to even date because by the time he was done smoking, he wants to chill on the couch and not do much. The people who are smoking,
He's fun. He went to work. He did all the things that he needed to do.
yeah, he did what he needed to do to keep a roof over his head. But that was the extent of it. Like everything else was suffering, and that's how most of them are doing. They're looking for the next weed to smoke or next edible to have. I'm not.
The next week.
the next week.
They just they're not doing much outside of what the basic stuff they need to have a job or a car.
So you calling them junkies? That sounds like a
Listen,
junkie.
I wouldn't go that far, but if that's what you want to call it,
That's what it sounds like.
Like after a while, I had to stop dealing with that dude. I was like, listen, there's nothing wrong with you as a person, but you are heavily relying on this, and I can't fuck with that. Like, we have to chill indoor all the time because you're high and you want to just relax home and shit like that. Like, I'm not fucking with that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I wouldn't want to.
There's
You guys weren't equally yoked,
We weren't.
so it makes sense.
But listen, what was I gonna say? Social media. Let's get back to self-care.
Okay.
Because Gen Z is taking on, but Gen Z usually they take on anything. And
is that the latest?
the latest one?
I love that.
They take everything and take it to a whole different level. So I can see how you feel about it. You self-care gurus feel that Okay, you're using the word too often. It's not self-care. You know, a female, instead of her going, when she goes to a breakup, instead of her calling her friends and crying on the phone or finding a therapist, she's going to head to the beauty store and buying a bunch of stuff to make herself feel pretty instead of going the right way. And she's saying it's self-care. So instead of doing the right certain things to get yourself to that place you need to be, you're just doing whatever you need to do and throwing the word self-care on it. I see how you feel about that. I think Gen Z just tend to they take anything and run with it. Let's use an example, the little jerk dance they've been doing recently. And I'm watching, I'm like, bro, that's not, you know.
First of all, that's a really old dance.
It's
Right?
a very old dance. This is from years ago, but
Right.
that's just how they are.
Uh-huh.
But there are still a lot of people out there who are using self-care and doing self-care stuff and promoting it on social media. I think it's just our most recent generation that is just taking any trend, taking anything and making it trendy.
Yeah.
And just throwing it
So is that a form of abuse as well? Or?
I wouldn't say they're abusing
I don't think it's
they're just
abusive.
putting the words out there, and the gurus are not happy about it because
Like, it's the same sentiments that I had about taking on culture. It's the same sentiments that I had about. It's the same sentiments that I have about people who call themselves vegan. You know, like, you're not vegan. People are using the.
You know,
term
y'all like to.
vegan. People use the term vegan and don't really know. Like, that means you're not dealing with animal byproduct. Period. Like,
and there are people who are. There's a lot of people who know that
vegans, but like people like you know, is it vegan? Is it vegan? Is it vegan? That doesn't mean shit. It still could be junk.
One thing about you guys, y'all will gatekeep something.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, like
Gatekeeper calling the
I
gatekeeper.
really don't, because you gatekeeping our culture, which is cool. You gatekeeping when it comes to being a vegan. Again.
I'm not vegan.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're
never
vegan,
claimed
but
to be
you're
vegan.
saying you're.
It bothers me when people use the term vegan. They toss it around like, is it vegan? Is it vegan? Is it vegan? Are you vegan? Because you're not vegan.
But they don't have a Louis bag.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? Most vegans know that you don't fuck with leather and anything that is a byproduct of animals.
No, most
I'm
vegans
not sure
don't.
I'm not sure who the vegans you're dealing with.
It's
or
the
who are throwing the
people
words
that
out
are
there.
using the term. So again, someone who is doing self-care does not need to announce to the world what they're doing for their self-care, because it looks different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what annoys me, is people that's throwing, I'm just doing this for my self-care because I just broke up with my dude, so I'm gonna do this for my self-care. Or she da-da-da-da. Like, you don't have to put it.
Maybe they're saying those things to help other people who
Right.
They are.
Right.
I'm not taking it away from
maybe
sharing. It's
okay
like
for them to focus
overuse
on
of it.
themselves and be selfish.
Right.
What it is
But you're not focused on yourself if you're busy telling me about what you're doing for your self-care and trying to compare it to what I do for my self-care. I might go to the botanical gardens, you might lift weights, but that doesn't make me any worse or better at self-care. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I laugh because it's like, y'all think that I feel some kind of way about your self-care, and I don't care. I really don't.
You just don't like the overuse of it.
I don't like the
And you don't like
overuse
people
of
who don't
it.
know about self-care speaking on it.
People.
That's just why you had a reaction when
What I
we
don't-
brought it up, because you
what
were
I
saying,
don't-
how dare you guys talk about a topic that you don't
What
know
I
much
don't
about.
care
Especially since
about-
he doesn't know about meditation. It doesn't know that he meditates.
He does know now.
Okay.
You have been
I
enlightened.
appreciate that.
You have been enlightened.
I take my little 5 seconds of meditation before I squat heavy.
Yes.
So, as a self-care guru,
He's not gonna let this shit go.
do you, what is your advice to people who wants to start finding some way to
I got 2 words for you. Be honest. I said it in the beginning. Be honest.
Okay.
If you are being honest with yourself, you are going to do the things that you need to get you to the next level that you want to be at. And if you're focused on what somebody else is saying is self-care, it's not going to work. It might help, but if it's not something that's coming from your own like inspiration or something that makes you feel more aligned, sitting in the garden may not work for you. You may not, it may not really, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people that when I go to if I invite you to go, like, it means you're really special to me. But I also tell people, like, listen, like, it's not no, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just, we gonna go here and be quiet.
But you know what's crazy? Every time I see that garden, I see a picture, you posting a picture and showing your self-care in the garden. So you can
With her son.
You can put that out there and people can see that. But if a Gen Z or
Well, that's
somebody
my
put it out
real
there
life.
This is myself. Well,
This is my real life. With some people, that's not their real life. That's why I said be honest. If that's not your real life, you don't have to promote something that's not your real life because you calling it self-care. Because you want to say, you want to promote something that's not real to you.
I think to Will's point, I had a young man tell me the other day, I don't go to the gym because I don't post it every day. That's how they move.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's our generation. I mean, it's a new generation. Now. We have to post everything.
Nah, you with him, bro.
Yes.
I know when Will's
him.
home and he's in DC.
He's
Right.
You'll never not know.
Right.
I mean, listen, sometimes we like to flex. We like to show what we have because, again, people doubt.
So
what you have
is
going.
that a form of self-care?
Flexing?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me.
You
feel
think
good about
so?
it makes me feel
That's
good about myself.
now. Is that toxic?
Hell yeah.
As fuck.
Hell
Very
yeah.
toxic.
Hell
I
yeah.
wouldn't say.
So
that.
how can something? So how
let-
can something be an instance where it's self-caring and it's also toxic?
Because
at
it's
the
not.
same
Because
It's
the
not
flex.
toxic to
Because
me.
the flex is not for them. The flex is for the other
Yeah,
people.
bingo.
That's
Bingo.
why
Right.
it's not self care.
Bro,
it. Okay.
listen, because it perpetuates a whole mental stigma. People don't feel like they're doing as well as they are. You're always comparing what else somebody got going on. You be like, oh, damn, he's at Joe's on a Monday. And I'm eating a Hungry Man. And they don't got to be that. I could just be like, to her point, showing my real life, but then people get to comparing and I live.
Right.
Well, how do we know that
it's
it's
a
not my
slippery
real
slope.
life? My real life is I'm in DC all the time. So
No,
if
we
I'm
know.
if I'm posting stuff about me being in DC all the time, and you think I'm flexing or
Well, no, we think you're
showing
flexing
off.
because you just told us you're flexing.
well, because I'm saying it now, but in general, other people might see and be like, okay, he's flexing. But my real life is that I'm always
Oh,
in DC.
I
all the
never.
time.
I think part of the flex part is who the people are.
But the question wasn't whether or not it's your real life. The question is, can that be considered self care? I don't think
For
that
me-
You said
flexing
yes.
For me
is
it is.
considered sex. I don't think it's self care. I don't think flexing is self care. If
Flexing
it's
is.
your real life, it's your real life. You flexing. But how is that self care? Because it has nothing to
This-
do with people.
I wanna-
Self care doesn't have anything to do
But
with
it's for my
anybody else.
mental state. If I feel good.
Did y'all see his face, bro?
It's for my mental state. I feel good. I feel good when I post my MacBook Pro on social media.
Why?
It makes me feel good.
Why? Why does it make you feel
This
good?
is the difference.
Why does it make you
right?
feel good?
Because like you got to think flexing, right? Like she said, is not for you; it's for the other people.
Right.
Why?
If I post a
Why?
MacBook, like everybody that knows me knows the new iPhone came out. I got the new iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
If I post it, that's my real life. But to somebody who feels lesser, maybe about themselves, I'm hurting them because they're looking like.
Oh, that's on them.
Yeah, but part of the
well,
flex is to
well,
also make them feel lesser.
That's
Well,
fine, but I'm
it can't
saying
be
that
self-care
it's
if you're
myself.
flexing
The question-
on people.
Facts.
We're asking.
It's no
if
longer
how-
about self when
It's
you're
not.
flexing on
Asking
people.
Exactly.
Listen,
How?
didn't you say isn't that a part in that where you said being selfish? Yes, I don't care about how they're feeling. It makes me feel good when
Why?
people see.
But you do care about how they
Why?
feel.
Yes.
Why
You want
does
them
it
to
make
see
you
it.
feel good that people know you got the nice shit?
I don't know, but
And if I'm hold up, time out. And if I'm being a little shady, that's not the newest MacBook. That's how I read it. When I seen it, I was like, that's not the M1.
well, I didn't say it was the newest one.
I know. But
Okay,
I didn't feel like you were trying to flex on me.
I know a lot of people didn't get a MacBook though. So
Respect.
if we're gonna go down
You're
that,
horrible. You're horrible.
So I'm just saying. But listen, me personally, I like to show off. Me showing off makes me feel higher than somebody else. Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
In a sense, and that affects my ego. That affects my mental state. And again, part of the definition was that if I'm doing anything to preserve and take care of my mental state or my physical health, that is affecting my mental state.
But at,
So that-
but
think
at
the
the
key is-
expense
yeah.
of other people. That's not.
I think the key is that there doesn't involve anybody.
In,
Right.
no, listen, and in this day and age, maybe for y'all, I hang with a younger crew most of the time. For y'all, it might not be a thing to show off, and it might be bad for somebody else. But I'm not worried.
No,
about that.
we're not saying it's bad to flex at all. I'm asking you, why does it feel good?
I just
to
stated that
flex?
just now that me flexing helps my ego.
Okay, so if all this shit gets taken from you,
He's gonna
you're
feel
gonna be
away.
like,
Yeah,
that, you're
down
not
bad.
gonna be able to deal with life.
In a sense, yes. Do you think if everything gets swept from under me right now, yes, I would not want. I mean, I work hard. My biggest fear in life is to end up broke. not have financial stability. I work hard for what I have right now. Be it, regardless if it's coming from my fiance or not, I work hard for it. I work hard to keep him. So yes, if everything is pulled from under me, I will be devastated. And that's just me being honest.
Yeah. No,
So I
mean,
make sure every day I work to keep those things that I flex on social media. So when you see me driving the Tesla and it's my fiance's car, I work hard to keep the man so I can know that I have his Tesla.
Jesus.
I mean, it's bad.
Amen.
It's self-care for
Amen.
It's self-care for me, okay?
Yeah.
Flexing on other people makes me feel good. And I mean, y'all gonna eat me up in the comments anyway, so
Whatever.
It's probably some other people that feel that way.
people
doubt.
feel, I think
No
a lot of people
doubt.
feel that way. And you know, a lot of people post stuff about even females getting their hair done and saying that it's self-care. They don't need to post that, but they post that on social media, and that still doesn't take away from the fact that them getting their hair done makes them feel good about themselves.
Well, that's hygiene, though. Like, hygiene is a form of self-care.
well,
Yeah, get a manicure,
get-
pedicure.
Yeah, like you got to take care of your.
I mean, you can,
And it doesn't impede on anybody else's
Right.
well-being.
But I'm
sir.
saying posting those things on social media, getting their hair done, getting their nails done, and all the stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's a form of self-care. It's self-care, but they're posting that on social. They don't have to post that on social media. They don't. But they're posting that on social media. It makes them feel good about themselves. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't mean it's not a form of self-care. It makes them feel good about themselves.
But I don't think getting your hair done is a flex as much as riding around in a Tesla.
No, well, no, I don't agree.
See, and then-
Because let
see,
me
that's-
see.
never mind.
I don't agree.
It's a Model 3.
well, I know a lot of people who don't have Model 3.
I respect it, bro.
I know. And let me say this real quick because this is the second time you came from me. Let me tell you this real quick. It can be a model. It can be a Model 3. It can be a Model Y. It can be whatever model. I have a homeboy who drives a $105,000 car, and every time we pull up in our Tesla, he is always excited to see the Tesla and wants to get a Tesla. That's $35,000 how we bought that car,
Fire.
but now it's around $45,000
It's like
now.
50
Even with the
almost, yeah.
mileage on it that we got about 10,000 miles on it now, and the price of that
Sorry, guys,
increased.
not a pot.
So people are still.
Carpet.
It might be a Model 3. People still want that car.
I'm just saying some people.
I
like,
understand.
When you look at it, like it's flexing, but there's a subset. Like it's always a
Yeah,
subset.
no,
for
it's
everything.
level.
It's level to it.
No disrespect.
It's level to it.
I rented
But
a Model 3 in DC the other
we
day.
also know our target audience. So I have my target audience. That when I flex the Model 3 in front, I know they don't have the Model 3.
Damn, he got a
So-
target audience. He's shitting
Yeah,
on.
so-
It's
I
okay.
mean,
Fuck that.
You all have them. I'm sure you have your target audience.
flexing
too.
hair.
I don't like posting.
The
That's why I told you I
hair
got my own.
industry,
But you push your car
wigs
sometimes.
can cost
I like my
thousands of
car.
dollars. And so we were talking about what he was saying. He doesn't think it's the same as flexing a Tesla. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not necessarily, but I think it does have some it can have some toxic levels to it. Because like some women are very like the fronts and the wigs and how expensive and how much they pay for their wigs.
Yeah.
And that could be considered a flex too. For
Yeah,
sure.
but I mean, I don't have that kind of stuff.
I did not
$3,000,
think
$4,000,
wigs
$5,000.
would be over $1,000. Somebody
Yeah,
told
I
me
don't have that kind of stuff on my social media, but like when I see
Yeah.
women like getting their locks washed and all of these different, holistic, turmeric and all like that looks like self-care to me.
Yeah, so that's different.
That's
different.
no wigs
Yeah.
and that. Like,
No,
Right.
definitely that.
Right.
And that's also sometimes someone sharing their technique, someone's advertising their business,
Right.
but maybe for the other person, it's like, yeah, this is something that I need, especially with locks, because locks tend to have some, deeper meanings,
Right.
but yeah.
I think what
I'm not coming for
what
you,
I've
William.
learned-
I'm sorry.
You said what?
I'm not coming for William. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. My target audience isn't you. So when I post my
Target
MacBook,
audience.
or when I post my wedding pictures, I'm sure.
The wedding gonna be fire.
Of course, we spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
on it.
I'm saving up for my outfit now.
So when I post those things, my target audience, I'm going to be flexing on them. But I'll say this: what I learned from this conversation today is that being honest is important.
Yeah.
To self-care.
For sure.
And I'll be honest, I flex on people on social media. And that's part of self-care for me.
I'm trying to think, is there any instances where I'm flexing?
Hell yeah.
What?
What do you mean? What?
When?
Let's
First of
Your
all,
target
I
audience
could go
could
to
be
Karim's DMs and see you going back and forth with him flexing and question in his amount he can lift and questioning how much.
No, that's between me and him, though.
I'm not into comic books.
That's between me and him. That's a very personal thing.
I'm not into comic books, but I'm sure there are people who are into it who you could be flexing because you post that stuff and you almost sound like an elitist when it comes to that.
Yes.
Like I know more about comics than you.
Yes.
No. So here's the thing, and the whole community can speak for me. I'm actually going to put this on my Blurred Core group. I actually don't talk about comic book knowledge much at all. Like that's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tell me that too. I'll just be like I don't get off on knowing nerd stuff. I have it all.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You post about it.
I don't. And they know that about me. Like I don't try to be like, yeah, I know more than you. Like, bro, people know what I'm about. Like
how it comes off to me, who don't even know shit about comics. It's come off as you knowing a whole lot about it, and you're always talking about it. And
I've been doing it for almost 30 years.
Yeah, it still doesn't mean that's not what you're doing.
You know how you feel right now, Flood? That's how I felt when you guys attacked me about myself.
No, all I'm saying is I've been doing this I've been doing this for 30 years. And I know, but I don't go in the comments and be like, well, no, guys, that's not how it really like I don't
and
even
neither
care.
do I.
Yeah, and that's exactly how she's posting her picture in the
and I don't say nothing.
garden. She don't say nothing.
I sure don't.
And we're looking at her and putting out saying that she thinks she got her nose up in the air. Us who don't pick up rocks every day from the street.
Right.
And same with me. I post my little stuff on social media and live my life.
The difference is
Yeah, you just told me you want to flex on
He
people.
literally told me
That's
that.
the difference.
I'm trying to make y'all feel it ways.
But you know
Right,
what?
exactly.
He's being honest, everyone.
I respect
Listen,
that.
it's all about being honest, right? But I'm glad I'm glad you talked about that. Being honest about it.
Yeah.
I think going into the new year.
Yeah.
You need therapy, bro.
We
no,
all
I don't
do.
think I need.
I think you need therapy.
I need therapy.
Like flexing, like you purposefully trying to be bigger than other people.
Bro, we must not have the same target audience because the people that I deal with on social media are doing the exact same thing.
They need therapy too.
I would say social media as a whole is doing that though.
Yeah,
Everybody's always trying
everybody's trying to do that. Maybe
post
Now, if
much
I'm
money they
lifted,
got,
well, I
as far
will
as
because
they
I
got.
like.
It's my unplug.
Yeah, I like workout videos. I'm always looking
I
at people
do, I
lifting
do, yeah.
a lot of weight. And I don't look at it as somebody flexing. Like for me, it's always motivation.
It
That's-
is.
Damn, this nigga strong as hell.
Yeah, some people
Yeah.
take like you'll see like my homeboy just bought a new car and I'm like, oh, that's fire. Like
Right.
to me, I feel like it's a personal thing. Like you be like, oh snap, they trying to shit on me,
Right,
and that's weird.
right.
To
It's
me,
very
that's
weird. Very weird.
I respect it. I know a lot of people that's probably trying to do it. I seen a girl post. So I was gonna get my girl a Chanel bag for Christmas. Is that a flex? I didn't buy it.
No, because that's in your
But
price.
to some people, that's a flex. Me just saying that.
Well, it's. I guess for people that know you, don't think. I wouldn't
That's
think it's a flex because that's like your lifestyle.
Well, I didn't buy it because they went up from $5,000 and $6,000 to the lady $8,000 for the small.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They're $8,000
Oh, bro.
a bag.
Oh,
The
shit.
small one, boy.
Yeah.
The small, the
The little clutch.
yeah.
Yeah,
The clutch.
I thought they were like
That's a
$1,000.
No. What?
I don't know nothing
Keep
about
saying-
no fashion.
He
and
wish.
Chanel.
I wish they were
bags.
1,000. She'd have all them Jones.
Right.
Oh.
Dior tote 3,500, bro.
3,500.
Right, Dior.
You know what I mean?
Never seen this before.
And build a whole kitchen for 3,500. Like that's what I'm on. Like, are you
Well, I'm just
serious?
see, but then it's like, and that to me, it's weird to post those things because then people think you trying to shit on them.
Well, let me
Like,
say.
bro,
So this is how a flex will be. So you buying it for your girlfriend is not a flex. Your girlfriend going to dinner and taking a picture and having it sitting right at the end of the table where the Chanel part is showing. She's in that case she's
subtle
trying to
flex. Now I ain't
she's
gonna
trying to
hold you.
flex on somebody.
I do like the subtle flex. I like Pusha T is
But
like the
you
master
so,
of the
but I
subtle.
do the same thing though.
No,
but I
that's not self-care.
But I do the
That
same.
self-care.
Mine is also subtle. I don't think mine. I don't literally. I don't go ahead and say. Let me go ahead.
No.
No.
Listen, I've seen one time. I actually like when people flex. I mean, that's just me.
it is.
I like.
I like when William flexes.
I like when it was one stories where you had like Gucci shoes
last week.
and then you had like
It was last
and, like,
Tuesday.
the phone went like
It
this.
was last Tuesday.
That was very obvious.
It was
And
last
I
Tuesday.
thought it was cool though.
It
You
was
know what I'm
last-
saying?
yeah,
Like I
but
thought
I
it
would
was
say
cool.
this. I would say this. So the backstory of that, I was going to a lunch with some friends who I knew was going to be wearing all designers, from head to toe designer. So I had to break out my Gucci shoes and let them know, like, these shoes are over $1,000 plus. And I got the Gucci watch to go with it. Okay, and I'm driving a Tesla. So what are you talking about? So
I respect that, bro.
so I had to step,
And it made me smile because I knew what you was doing.
yeah, so it was something sly. But usually I'm not that. I won't put it out there like that. Yes, everything I post on social media, most of the time I'm trying to flex, but it's not all. It's not. I don't put it in people's face like that all the time.
Yeah, but it's.
But the conversation is not about flexing. Let's go
That's
back
what I'm
to
saying.
self-care.
We were talking about
Because you
the
call it
self-care
self-care.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's calling it self-care.
That's my only issue with it.
I mean, I feel like the fact that I can show off what I have makes me feel good about myself. Even the Bible says that you should be able to show your blessing so other people can see the work of God and glorify.
What verse is that?
It's somewhere in there. No, it's literally a Bible verse that says you should be able to show. Yes, please. There is some.
I don't think that was the intention of that verse.
No, you're not. You're supposed to show what God is doing in your life.
Do you think
Not to make other people feel away.
materialism is a godly thing? Yes or no? Just yes or no?
No,
Of course.
But
Of course not. So listen, let's wrap this thing up and go into a breaker bill. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell,
Yes.
Share.
jump in the comments. Don't forget your 5 resolutions. We want to see them. I'm going to add 3, and my co-hosts are going to add 3.
yeah.
Let's get into this breaker bill. I have one real easy.
Good.
Holidays.
Oh, good one. Good one.
It's a break for me.
Are you gonna say why?
Are you gonna say
I
why?
guess we'll come back to him.
I mean, I kind of just hit on it, like
All right, we'll come back
consumerism, and I mean, if you want to get into the spiritual aspect, paganism,
Okay.
it's just all in line, just negative
So
on top of negative.
holidays. Okay, I'm gonna say it's a build.
Okay, why?
Because if you get past the consumerism and the
Paganism.
paganism and all those things, I think holidays suggest self-care, taking a break and being maybe coming together
Right.
collectively and celebrating something collectively. But I think if you get past those things, yeah, it could be a build. I could see where it could be a break though,
Okay.
but definitely a build.
This is a break for me. I'm looking at it from a different side where holidays are usually a reminder to a lot of people that we can go back to our family, we can hang out with our family, we can spend time with our family because either we've been pushed away, especially for me, well, not for me specifically, but for the LGBTQ community, they've either been pushed away from their family because of their sexual orientation. So holidays are usually a reminder that we don't have our family around to go back to. We can't take pictures with our family, the whole pajamas and all that good stuff like that. And seeing those pictures on social media, usually it's hard for a lot of people. That's why I always remember there are people who lost their loved ones, or even people who lost their parents. Parents.
Yeah, my mom passed away.
Christmas.
That's a reminder
Yikes.
of that, and it really hits hard for a lot of people. So it's usually I've considered a break for me.
I respect it. Kadeem, what you think? Break a bill.
It's a bill for me for all the reasons Zaya said. You don't have to lean into, like, I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't care about the pilgrims and none of that shit. They don't even teach us in school what that really was. But it's a time where a lot of people get off from work. It's a time for them to take a break. It's a time for us to come together.
I think it's something that we kind of like instinctively as a species, a human being having human experiences. I think it's something we created as a way to self-care. Interestingly
I lean
enough.
into the togetherness part.
Yeah.
I didn't get my daughter a whole bunch of stuff. I don't do Christmas. But if they want to create that kind of tradition, I don't know. It's not something I might make her go feed the homeless on Christmas Day every year. But we gonna, be a family and do shit together, and she gonna know who her dad is, and we gonna during the holiday, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that part of it is something I care deeply about. And even with my mom not being here, I post her Kwanzaa videos every year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was something she was really big on. What's today? Umoja, togetherness, fam. Like that shit is important to me.
Yeah.
Right. I like it. That was good. It was smooth and fluid too. Like it just flowed right through. Usually we like, oh hell no, you wrong, and
Because you're not wrong, right?
Right.
No.
And I'm not wrong.
Not at
but
all.
it's
Not
just
at all.
the
Yeah.
we don't care about their holidays like that. But I do. Everybody get to be off. Everybody get to like travel. Yeah, you might not have family, but for the people that might be the only time they get to see their family. So it's always gonna be you know what I'm saying? My mom's not here, but I'm still going, you know.
Right.
Not to change the topic. I just want to ask one question because it's hot right now. So I want to see both of you guys are both hip hop fans. You are too. Who would you guys put against Jay-Z?
We talked about this on my pod earlier.
So I just want to know because I'm not a hip hop guy, but I care for Jay-Z. I'm not a rap guy. But
I got a hot
Jay-Z.
take.
So I just want you to give like
you go first. What's your
how you
hot
feel
take?
about
Oh,
that?
I got a hot take. So I understand the difference between hits and live performances and creating great songs. Everybody says Nas. I think that Nas is better than Jay-Z, but Jay-Z would destroy him in the verses.
For sure.
The hits ain't the same.
Not
My
at all.
hot take is this. Future would destroy
Oh
Jay-Z
my God,
in a verses.
If
That
it's
is my
in
hot
Atlanta,
take.
that's the only time that would happen.
He would destroy him in the
Negative.
verses.
Is this our next topic? Or?
No,
I think that Future would destroy.
They said that on my
I don't
show.
think that anybody, and this is just me understanding how the music works, when Future gets played in club situations, when he's live and things like that, I've never seen, like, his shit is crazy. Women, men, hood, white people, he goes crazy.
I don't think he has 20 of those though.
He has 20.
Does it have to be someone that? Because personally,
That's my hot take. Future.
That's not a hot take.
I don't
think
have,
so?
They put him on the list. The people that they had on the list, they had especially like the Gen Z crowd. They had obviously Drake, Kanye. They had Young Thug on the list, and they had Future on the list. And they said depending on where they hosted, they was like, you know, Boosie is the Jay-Z of the South. That's what they told me.
No, that's not the truth.
That's
but
what they told me, bro.
I don't have any official finance. I just want to know you guys' opinion, honestly.
hit
for the culture, obviously Nas, but no,
And
he'll
are
get
you-
So
washed.
Eminem. I mean, that's what I've been saying.
You know,
here.
you'll never get Eminem to say.
I'm still trying to figure out who they're gonna get up against Bust, but I don't think it's anybody.
He is another one that would body Jay-Z,
So that's
in
what I was
my
thinking.
opinion.
Buster
Right?
would not body. Y'all are
You
wild.
crazy.
Y'all
I don't
crazy.
think that Buster's better than Jay-Z, but in a live performance,
Have y'all seen Hove live?
Make this up.
He's incredible.
he's horrible.
Have y'all seen Hove live?
He's horrible.
You're wilding, bro.
Okay, but have you seen Bust live?
Right.
Okay, so
He's
that's what we're talking
crazy.
about.
He's
I'm not
crazy.
saying Hove isn't.
The energy is
Good.
out of this world.
I'm
with Buster.
saying
Future
like
gives
that
me
could
the same
keep
thing, though.
keep
But I've seen
everybody
Future live too, and it's not the same.
keep everybody going,
Right.
hit for hit like a show. Because to me, it feels like a show.
Yes.
It feels like a show now. It doesn't feel like versus like.
The
So,
showmanship from
come-
Buster. Yeah, come on, man.
So from I have like a little. It was supposed to originally. It started out just for beat makers.
Yeah, it was produced.
It really it was supposed to be just for that. So yeah, but I think Bus
Right.
could do it. I mean, I could see a Future.
'Cause he
I
has
could
the-
see
He
maybe.
has the tenure.
But I'm thinking like the amount of time,
Right.
the amount of like the feeling that you get, because there's certain feelings you get from Jay-Z's music. It's the certain
Jay-Z has been
feelings you
doing
get
this
from.
since '94,
Right.
and he's still doing it.
Okay, and
If
so
he drops a song
and Bus,
today,
It's
and
crazy.
Bus,
yeah, but we don't run to the Bus song like we run to the Hope.
she.
No, y'all do. We're talking about
E2 was amazing.
no. The half the people listening to this has not heard that song.
Okay.
album?
Well,
I didn't even know that was an album. That's what I'm telling you.
wow.
If Jay-Z drops an album, just bangers on
You
there.
do.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
You just don't listen.
All
to
right.
Let's
wrap it up.
let's wrap it up. I'm
up.
sorry. I just
Wrap it
had
up
a,
because that's a whole other topic. You done started some
Bus.
shit.
I co-sign on Bus too.
Okay. All right. Well,
Y'all are wild.
I co-sign on Bus. Future and Buster.
okay.
Dame, who did you pick?
Oh no, I mean, the only choices are obvious. It's, and we don't even know if they would stand on there. With,
Wayne and Drake.
those are the obvious choices.
Okay.
Wayne ran rap for a smooth 5-6 years too.
I could see
Longer than
Wayne. I
You know what I'm
could see
saying?
Wayne.
Drake ran a decade, a
I
smooth
could
decade.
see Wayne. Especially because they're both Carter. Yeah, that could be a thing.
And you got to be able to. You got to.
Jay-Z was son Lil Wayne though, and that would
I
be
don't
the
think
problem.
that's true.
He looks at him.
That
like a
actually
dad.
would be kind of cool.
All of them look up Jay-Z like he the father of rap. What are you talking about? They're all super Hove fans.
Yeah, but no, it's they have a different. Like Jay-Z was paying guys taxes and stuff like that. Like
I don't think Bus has 20 for him, but that's just what
Bus is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it's
Are
like,
we? Because I got
You ain't got nothing.
She got places to go. Okay,
I got
self-care.
I got gardens to go
Make
sit
sure
in.
you like, subscribe, hit the bell. Future would beat Jay-Z anniversary.
we don't got 20 either.
Look, and that's that. I appreciate you guys coming in. Happy New
Yay.
Year's. Make
See you
sure
guys
you
next
jump in those
year.
comments and put 5 resolutions that you have. We want to see it. We're going to respond and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Okay,
Good night.